Chen Chang's head began to bleed from the sudden impact, and he groaned in pain, clutching his wound. Zhang Qi, seeing his friend in distress, reacted with worry, calling out to him as blood trickled down Chen Chang's face. Meanwhile, the person who had struck Chen Chong with a bottle turned to his girlfriend, seeking approval. With a smug expression, he asked if she felt any better now. But she remained unimpressed, scoffing at his actions. She coldly pointed out that her anger wasn't directed at Chen Chong, who hadn't bumped into her, but at someone else entirely. In response, the man angrily shifted the blame toward Zhang Qi, barking accusations at him. Zhang Qi stood silent, feeling the tension rise, unable to find the words to defend himself. Despite the blood running down his face, Chen Chong gathered his strength and reached for a nearby ashtray, his hand trembling. Just as he prepared to retaliate, the man who had been speaking to the girl noticed his movement and quickly grabbed him, tightening his grip while shouting insults at him for daring to fight back. The aggressor's companion, momentarily stunned by Chen Chang's courage, muttered under his breath about not expecting such guts from the younger man. Without hesitation, he grabbed another bottle and smashed it over Chen Chang's head. The second blow was too much, and Chen Chong collapsed to the floor, unable to stand. Zhang Qi, shocked by what had just happened, felt his anger flare. Without thinking, he charged toward the man, shouting in rage. His opponent sneered, taunting him for his continued defiance and calling for his companions to beat Zhang Qi to death. Despite his attempts to fight back, Zhang Qi's punches were uncoordinated, and the group easily overpowered him. He stumbled backward, groaning in pain. On the sidelines, Lao San hesitated, unsure whether to intervene. Noticing this, Zhang Qi shouted at him, his frustration evident, calling Lao San a coward and urging him to join the fight. Finally, Lao San rushed forward, grabbing one of the boys from behind and locking him in a chokehold. The boy gasped for air, struggling as his face turned red, cursing and begging for help. The girl screamed at the sudden turn of events, her voice piercing through the chaos. The brawl continued to escalate, with no end in sight as tensions boiled over. One of the onlookers, visibly shaken by the escalating chaos, shouted nervously, claiming he had subdued two of the boys and urged his companions to help with the fight. Hearing this, the companion of the boy being choked rushed over, bewildered by the struggle. He exclaimed in disbelief, wondering aloud how their attacker could be so strong as he attempted to break the hold. In response, the boy doing the choking abruptly released his current target and swiftly grabbed the bewildered companion instead. His frustration boiled over as he yelled about being bitten, comparing his new opponent to a ferocious dog. The boy's eyes widened in panic as he struggled against the relentless grip, exclaiming that his attacker seemed insane, his strength far beyond what they expected. Amidst the chaos, a powerful new figure appeared, exuding an intimidating presence. With surprising ease, this newcomer grabbed the boy doing the choking from behind, lifting him effortlessly. In one swift motion, he slammed the boy against a nearby mirror, shattering it into pieces. The boy's body crumpled to the ground, stunned and motionless from the force of the attack. The boy who had initially been choked stared in disbelief, his mind racing as he processed the overwhelming strength of the newcomer, Jiang. He couldn't comprehend how this kid had managed to pin someone so powerful with just one hand. The leader of the group, who had been orchestrating the violence, was equally stunned, repeating the same thought in shock. He couldn't believe that Jiang, someone known for his immense strength, had been subdued so easily. Standing tall amidst the shards of broken glass, Jiang cast a calm yet concerned gaze toward Zhang Qi. He asked if Jiang had been bitten, his tone steady, showing confidence despite the mayhem surrounding him. In the dim, flickering light of the warehouse, Zhang Qi's voice quivered, barely audible, as he tried to stammer a response. His eyes darted nervously, caught off guard by Jiang's piercing gaze. Jiang's expression was stern, exuding an unspoken authority as he commanded Zhang Qi to follow him. Without a moment's hesitation, Jiang began to move with a purposeful stride. However, the tension in the air escalated when one of the attackers, a burly figure with a gruff demeanor, shouted an ominous warning. His outstretched hand aimed to seize Zhang Qi, but he was interrupted by the agonized sounds of his own companion. The man staggered, clutching his head and coughing violently. He barely managed to gasp, "Boss. I cough. My head spinning." Confusion crossed the boss's face, mingling with a hint of irritation as he questioned the state of his subordinate's health. "What's wrong? Is your cold getting worse?" His tone was laced with frustration, clearly impatient with the delay. The ailing man managed to reply, his voice weak, "This afternoon, it was just a runny nose." Zhang's eyes narrowed, his focus shifting with a sense of urgency. He approached the man with a penetrating look, scrutinizing the bite mark on his shoulder. Was this bite from him? He asked, his voice laced with concern. The man, barely grasping the gravity of the situation, groaned in discomfort. Ugh, yeah, so what? He responded, dismissing the implication. Zhang's mind raced through the implications. He quickly assessed the situation, realizing the bite might indicate a dangerous infection. If he was already infected, and now you've been bitten so close to your head. Zhang's thoughts were relentless. You're likely to mutate soon. In a swift and decisive move, Zhang seized the man who had inflicted the bite, the one responsible for the choker, and hurled him into a nearby room. He slammed the door shut and locked it securely, a grim smirk playing on his lips as he reflected, good thing zombies haven't figured out how to open doors yet. Turning his attention back to Zhang Qi, Zhang's voice was sharp and commanding. Zhang Qi, tell me which ones need to be taken out. Zhang Qi, still reeling from the chaos, could barely comprehend the situation. What, do we know each other? The boss, anger flaring in his eyes, scoffed dismissively. Kid, you're getting a bit too cocky. He braced himself to launch an attack on Zhang, but before he could move, Zhang reacted with lightning speed. With a brutal efficiency, he grabbed the boss's face and forced him down with a swift, powerful motion. As another attacker charged at them with a desperate cry, Zhang threw the boss down with a resounding thud that reverberated through the warehouse. The boss's companion, his fury mounting, screamed threats at Zhang as he lunged forward. However, Zhang's reflexes were quicker, and with a single, formidable punch, he sent the man crashing to the ground. The fallen attacker's companion stared in disbelief at his incapacitated comrade. Hey, what happened to you? Seriously? One punch and you're seizing up, he exclaimed, astonished by the sudden turn of events. With the situation now firmly under his control, Zhang's gaze swept over the remaining attackers. His fists were clenched, and his presence radiated a formidable aura. Anyone else not convinced? Want to test my fists? Come on, bring it. His challenge hung in the air, daring anyone to step forward. The remaining attackers hesitated, their confidence wavering in the face of Zhang's unyielding resolve. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let me know your thoughts on what the elite guy might do with Zhang in the comments below. Have an awesome day.